It's specifically talking about plants and plant products now. The next few slides will take you through the staged requirements for SPS checks from January 2021 to July 2021. There will be a requirement for pre-notification and phytosanitary certificates for high priority plants and plant products from January 2021. SPS checks will take place away from the border at places of destination or other approved premises. An exhaustive list of high priority plants and plant products will be made available on gov.uk shortly. You can see on the slide what that will include. It will be plants for planting, wet potatoes, some seed, some timber, and used agricultural forestry machinery. And in addition, for solid wood fuel not otherwise regulated, pre-notification will be required, but a phytosanitary certificate will not. The requirement for pre-notification and phytosanitary certificates is extended to all regulated plants and plant products, i.e. not just those categorised as high risk, from April 2021. A full list of those regulated plants and plant products will be made available on gov.uk in due course, alongside the high priority plants that I've just mentioned. From July 2021, there will be an increased number of physical and identity checks. All of those checks will take place at border control posts. So going into more detail from January 2021, pre-notification and phytosanitary certificates will be required for high priority plants and plant products. Documentary checks will be carried out remotely. Physical checks will be carried out on high priority plants, which are not subject to systematic import checks now, but constitute high risk pathways. Physical checks will take place at destination or other authorised premises. Exporters will need to apply for a phytosanitary certificate from the relevant competent authority of the EU country of origin. This will need to be secured prior to the goods departure so that it can be sent to the importer for pre-notification purposes. Importers will need to submit import notifications at least 4 hours prior to arrival if travelling by air, or at least 1 working day prior to arrival by all other modes of transport, along with the phytosanitary certificate. Checks will be carried out by plant health and seed inspectors from the Animal and Plant Health Agency and the Forestry Commission in England and Wales, and by the Scottish Government in Scotland. So moving on to April 2021, all regulated plants and plant products will require pre-notification and to be accompanied by a phytosanitary certificate. So that is moving on from January, so that's not only those categorised as high priority. From July 2021, physical checks for plants and plant products will increase. Commodities subject to sanitary and phytosanitary controls will need to enter via a point of entry with an appropriate border control post with relevant checking facilities. All ID and physical checks for plants and plant products will move to border control posts, either at existing points of entry or at new inland sites. Following feedback on the events that we've done to date, we've started to collect some frequently asked questions around physical checks, charges for checks and changes to the rest of world trade imports. I will just go through these now. Please do also continue to put comments in the chat, and we'll try and deal with them either today or after the event. So the first question that we to look at is, what do physical checks actually look like for goods? Will every good be checked, or just a sample from a consignment of goods? Most of physical checks on plants and plant products from the EU will take place on a risk based on risk, which will away from the border initially. The level of checks will increase for plants and plant products where there is an opportunity to better mitigate existing risks from the EU. Plants and plant products will be physically checked by examining the contents of consignments to ensure there is no evidence of the presence of harmful plant pests and diseases. Goods subject to physical checks will not always be sampled for lab testing. That will be performed on a random basis, or if non-compliance is suspected, or if the goods are subject to compulsory lab testing. or pathogens are suspected, which may be latent or showing no visual symptoms. Second question is, will importers incur any additional charges because of these new checks? Very straightforwardly, fees will be applied for checks on EU imports, as is the case for imports from non-EU countries now. And then will this also mean any changes to imports from countries outside the EU? For plants and plant products, a common import regime will ultimately apply to all third countries. So any changes will equally apply to EU and to non-EU countries.